Let's go, let's go, let's go. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Tuesday. It's time to start goddamn thinking Tuesday. How is everybody doing? Today's topic is actually on the brain, right? It's time to turn on your goddamn brain. And so bear with me. I'm going to be talking about something that, is right up here. I'm going to be doing my best. So, what I'm going to be plan to talk about is, how important is your brain, right? What is it like, right? How does it relate to Think and Grow Rich? And then I'm going to be talking about, upgrading your brain, right? Because I feel like this is something that most people don't talk about or don't even know where to start. And then finally, I'm going to talk about this one concept of your brain is a success mechanism and how to start using your brain to actually get what you want. All right. So let's get right into it. How's everybody doing today? So, uh, where do I start? I guess it starts with this, right? Your brain. Let's talk about it for a second, right? Your brain is is like a electronic flip and switch, right? Think of it like this. Think of it like a radio tower, okay? And your brain has the ability to send and receive thoughts, okay? Just like a radio tower, right? How does it work? Right? When you have a radio tower, what do? They step up the frequency, right? They step up the frequency and then they send the signal to another radio tower. Maybe it's in another city, another state, etc. All right. And then what does that other radio tower do? It receives the frequency, lowers it down, and then has it set to a certain level so that people can listen to it in their car, at home, etc. Right? Your brain's the same way. Right? And I'm going to explain, how the brain works just like a radio tower. And I talked about for a moment, right? I think it was 2 days ago, or it was on Friday, right? Becoming a genius requires you to step up your thinking so that you can send and receive thoughts that you could not receive at your baseline level of thinking, right? So in order for you to actually start using your brain, you're gonna have to step it up. Okay. So let's talk about it for a second, right? I'm gonna go back to the radio tower example, right? Each radio tower is your brain, right? When it sends out a signal, right? When it sends out a thought, right? Other brains can pick that up, right? So, kind of just like a bunch of radio towers, right? When you send out a signal, right? That's like your subconscious mind communicating to wherever it's got to communicate to. And when your brain picks up ideas from other brains, right? That's called your creative imagination, right? Is your creative imagination that picks up ideas from other brains, from other sources, right? But it's not until you actually step up your level of thinking, right? Step up the state of mind that you have, that you are actually able to pick up ideas to the solutions to your problems, right? That is essential to know, right? You're going to need to stimulate your mind, step it up in a certain way to receive ideas that you can't receive. That's how you become a genius. Okay? That's how you become a genius. Now, people think, okay, let's change the rate of vibration of my brain. Let's step it up. Let's start doing drugs. But if you're doing, you know, recreational drugs just to change your state of mind, yeah, you might change your state of mind. You might get the immediate effect, but in the long run, you're going to absolutely screw yourself. Right? You're going to absolutely screw yourself because you're deteriorating your brain. And it's important to understand, yes, there's ways to upgrade your level of thinking, right? There's different stimuli, but if you're doing, drugs, if you're drinking alcohol to achieve that, right, that's not going to help you actually think and grow rich, right? If I'm going to say this, I'm probably going to offend some people, but if you're doing drugs after college, right? If you're doing drugs after college, you're a loser and you need to stop. You need to get it together. Sorry, that came out really offensive, but it's serious, right? It's either I'm going to offend you now or life's going to offend you later when you realize how bad you screwed up your brain. Okay? So So let's talk about, how do you upgrade your brain, or how do you stimulate it without, having to do the drugs that are going to make it worse in the long run. Or there's a couple of ways, right? One of the things that Napoleon Hill talks about is that each of the 13 steps towards riches, right? Each of the 13 steps towards riches serve as stimuli to influence, your brain and your subconscious mind. So let's talk about it for a sec, right? There's the first two chapters, right? Desire and faith, right? Both of those, Napoleon Hill refers to them as states of mind, right? A burning desire is a state of mind, right? If you have a burning desire, that is the first starting point for you to start stepping up your level of thinking, right? In order for you to actually use your brain and think of a way to get rich, you're going to need to have a burning desire, because that is a state of mind that's going to allow you to start thinking better. Right? How are you going to possibly think of ways to get rich without having a burning desire? Right? If you don't have any motive to actually use your brain, you're not going to. And you're going to continue down this path of just hurting your brain in the long run. Okay? So that was a burning desire. Then additionally, there's the state of mind known as faith. Right? The state of mind known as faith, right? And Napoleon Hill refers to the state of mind as it's already done, right? Seeing it done right now before it even happens, right? Just waiting for reality to catch up, right? That's the state of mind known as faith, right? That, my friends, is going to help you elevate your brain as well. That's going to help you elevate your state of mind, right? Believing that it's already done right now. I just got to put in the work, keep the main thing, and keep going at it, right? That's going to help you actually use your brain better, right? We don't need, smoking weed or drinking alcohol to do this. Okay. Now, additionally, right, there's other ways. And I'm going to talk about, one of the most important things for you to upgrade your brain. And it is so simple, yet so many people miss this idea, in staying hydrated, right? You want to know something? As a matter of fact, 80% of doctors' visits, right? 80% of doctors' visits are because people are dehydrated. Right? I'll repeat that. 80% of doctors' visits are mainly because people are dehydrated, and it's this hypochondria disease where they make stuff up in their head, think they're sick, just so that they could, have a sick day. Right? It comes down to stay hydrated, drink water, calculate, really measure yourself. How much water am I drinking? Right? Do you have a hydro flask, or do you have a gallon of water that you carry around with you every day? Because you got to start measuring, how much water you're drinking, so that you can actually decide, whether you are staying hydrated or not. Or staying hydrated is absolutely essential, right? Human beings are 70% water, right? So if you're dehydrated, of course your brain's not going to work like you want it to work. Right? Of course, your brain's not going to work like you want it to work. It comes down to staying hydrated. Now, additionally, some other things that I learned from my mentor, and additionally Dr. Amen, who wrote a couple of books on the brain. I highly suggest you get them. Is certain nutrients that will help you. And I know I'm not a nutritionalist, so I'm only going to share two that I personally do, that I intentionally do to upgrade my brain, right? And the first one is omega-3s, right? Right now I'm taking omega-3 gummies. I'm sure there's better omega-3s out there. They're just more expensive, but omega-3s, right? I don't have any science behind me, but I'm sure I know there's science out there, right? I know there's books out there that will have the backed up research on this, right? Omega-3 is going to help upgrade your brain. Don't ask me how. I don't know how. I just take it and I get my brain upgraded. And then additionally, I've been doing these ketones, right? Specifically, not because I need to lose weight, right? I'm actually, not in any way do I need to lose weight. I don't believe in the keto diet, but I do believe in the power that it brings to your brain. So I'll be taking some ketones to upgrade my brain, right? I treat this as brain food, right? It's time for you to start getting yourself some brain food so that your brain actually turns on and you start using it right. Okay? So those are a couple of ways to upgrade your brain. And then additionally, right, besides, just the basic drink more water, right? Additionally, I've been talking about elevating your state of mind, right? It comes down Elevating your state of mind comes down to the one main thing, which is actually moving your body, right? Getting your fat ass off the chair and moving your body, right? That is going to help you actually use your brain better. And as a matter of fact, right, when I work, right, this is actually pretty cool. When I work every day, I have a treadmill that I'm walking on with the two computer screens that I'm doing work on, right? And that what that does is I'm constantly moving my body, right? This is one thing my mentor says, and something that you're never going to hear before this, but it's sitting is the new cigarettes, right? Sitting is the new cigarettes, right? If you are sitting all day, hunched over, looking at your computer screen, you are going to be in a crappy state. And how are you possibly going to get ideas in that state of mind, right? You got to get up and move. Go to the gym, go for a walk, go for a run, go on a bike ride, get up and move. Whatever you like to do best, get up and move, right? Change your physiology, you change your state, you'll actually start using your brain to get rich, right? You'll start using your brain to help you get new ideas. All right, this is important. This is absolutely important. All right. So that was that. Now I might come back to that for a moment, but I'm going to move on to one pretty big idea that I really want to express throughout this video. And that is the idea that your brain is a success mechanism, right? Understand, we never built our brains, we never asked for our brains, right? They were given to us at birth. And I know, Kanye West said it himself, right? The best things in life are free, right? We were given our brain at birth, right? It was not like we wanted it. It's not like we asked for it, right? We were given this gift, right? It's time to start using this gift, right? A lot of people take their brains for granted, right? You got to start using your brain. And so what I'm saying is, your creator, right? Whatever creator that you believe in, right? I'm not here to, go on that, but I'm saying your creator gave you a brain not so that you can be a failure, right? He gave you a brain so that you can use it to actually succeed. Why would, think about this, right? I'm not going to be able to give you the exact numbers, but there's billions and billions of neurons in your brain alone that are so organized in a specific fashion. It's almost incredible how intentional the design of your brain was, right? And yeah, AI, it's good and all, but it's never going to come even close to the level of your brain, right? No AI is going to possibly replace your brain. But let me get back to the point, right? Your brain, right? Your creator made your brain so that it was a success mechanism, right? I'm not saying that you are a robot. I'm saying you are in control of this success mechanism, right? And what happens is whatever the brain is programmed with, the brain is going to go towards, just like a torpedo, right? When a torpedo locks onto its target, even when the target starts moving, it starts adjusting, right? That is exactly what I'm talking about here, right? It's the same metaphor for how your brain works with goals, right? If you are locked onto a certain target, your brain's going to find a way to make that target come true. Now, the challenge is, right? The challenge is that most people will set negative targets, right? This is negative self-talk, negative beliefs. The programming from the news certainly doesn't help, right? We're programmed, we're programmed by society in a negative way that is not serving our brain. And therefore, that's why you're going in this direction of not where you want to go. Right? That is why you are getting all the things that you don't want, because that's all you're thinking about, right? It starts with what you think about, right? What you think about, you bring about. So if you're thinking about, the news and murder and what's going wrong in life, you're obviously going to be attracted more towards that, right? Cut that out of your life. Cut out the news, cut out all negativity, cut out, even if it's family members that are negative, cut them out. You got to just be a savage about it. Cut them out. That's, that may have hurt to hear, but just do it. All right. What you program into your mind, your brain will find a way. Now think about this, right? Think about why they call TV programming, right? The news station, I'm going to go on this TV program, right? It's programming your brain to think negatively. It's programming your brain to worry about politics that you have no control over. Yeah, you can complain all day, but what are you actually going to do about those politics? Right? There's nothing that we're going to do. Why am I going to think about politics when I need to start thinking about how I'm going to get rich? Right? So it comes down to, what am I programming into my brain? And that's why it's important to start listening to audios, start listening to the people that have the results that you want. And maybe they're going to repeat themselves, right? Maybe they're going to repeat themselves and you're like, oh, you said this before. Then why aren't you doing it? Right? That's the importance of repetition, right? When someone with the right results comes by and helps reprogram you, personally undevelop you, so that you can actually, set towards the right target, right? That's when all of a sudden you start making progress, right? We live in this world where there's so much junk out there that our brains are crammed with useless information that is not only not helping us in any way, but actually holding us back. It's making us in a confused state, and you're not going to get anything done in that confused state, right? You have to have this state, right? When I'm talking about this state of mind, I'm talking about this state of mind known as a level of certainty, right? Nobody is going to trust you. No one's going to follow your leadership unless you have this level of certainty of where you're going, right? So it comes down to, okay, do I, am I set on my path, right? Do I write my goals down every single day, realigning me, with where I'm going, right? Because that's important, right? Most people don't write down goals. Most people don't have goals. Most people don't write them down. And that's why most people have no direction in life. They're just drifters, right? You're just going to drift if you don't have a direction, right? If you have a boat or if you have a sail and you just go into the ocean and say, wherever I end up, and hopefully it'll be where I want. You're going to end up in a storm and you're going to get blown off your ship and you are going to drown. You're going to drown in shark-infested water. It's time to start setting exactly where you want to go, figure out where the end goal is, and set your target towards there. Right? That's how you start using your brain. But you got to start thinking from the end. Right? That's what Neville Goddard says. Thinking from the end. Right? What's the end goal? What is your definite major purpose? And how can you re-engineer it so that, we can start right here, at least going in the right direction. And I'll tell you, right, the way that, school has programmed us is absolutely programmed us to listen to authority, to not think for ourselves, to not speak up, etc., right? We got to actually undo everything that we learned in school, right? I got a degree in engineering from Penn State University. And what I had to do right after college was immediately start unlearning everything that I learned in school, because it is not even applicable to making real wealth. It's just simply not. It is absolutely simply not. It's going to help me get a job, but it's never going to help me learn to invest, learn to, set my targets and go for it, right? It does none of that. I had to learn everything I learned in school about listening to authority, about how grades matter, how you cannot fail, how you have to be perfect, right? All that stuff that they teach you in school, I had to simply start unlearning, right? It's because they programmed our brains so that you become an employee, right? School is a fake education. That's what Robert Kiyosaki says, right? School is a fake education. And it's time for you to start using your brain by setting the end goal. Because I'm telling you, right, there's no way that your creator gave you this marvelous brain so that you can just waste it, so that you can just waste its potential, right? I think it was Albert Einstein or somebody said, right, we're only using probably 3 to 5% of our brain's full capacity, right? We are only using 3 to 5% of our brain's full capacity. And I'm not saying, you're only using this portion of the brain. Like, yes, you're using all the areas of your brain, but you're only using 3 to 5% of its full capability, right? When you set a definite target, I'm telling you, your brain is capable of it. Yeah, you're going to have to start getting off the drugs and stop delusional thinking, but, get started, because, your brain is one of the greatest mechanisms that you have And you are not your brain. You are not your body. You are not this mechanism. You are in control of it though, right? You are the controller. You are the operator of your brain. So start using it. Start using it. Start taking care of your health. Start, putting only good things into your body, right? Start putting only good things into your body that are going to help your brain, that are going to help your body, and start, going towards a target, right? Be definite. Start having a definite major purpose. Stop playing around, right? We don't have time to waste. All right. So that's the conversation today. I talked about the brain. I talked about, how it's just like a radio tower in terms of how you can use it to think. And then additionally, right, how you can begin upgrading your brain in two simple steps, right? It doesn't require any money. Drink more water and start exercising, start working out, start moving your fat ass. That's how you're going to upgrade your brain. And then additionally, right, I talked about how you are a success mechanism, right? You are designed to whatever target that you program into your brain, right? Your brain is designed to go afterwards. So start setting clear, distinct targets. Start setting clear, distinct goals if you actually want them, right? I'm telling you, your brain will find a way. Your brain will find a way. Start using it right. It's time to turn on your brain. So, thank you all for watching. Happy Tuesday. It is time to think Tuesday.